Metal Gear Solid 1 Remake is the Metal Gear game we desperately are anticipating, and after Konami is done with Metal Gear Solid Delta's Fox Hunt mode and probably the Switch 2 release, already likely now that they are putting full focus and effort into the original Metal Gear Solid game remake. According to Konami, that's a significantly more complicated proposition than remaking the third game, and we've had rumors since like 2020 that this game was being worked on behind the scenes, so it's not like they're all just about to start work on it. It's likely it's been going on for a while now. But Konami's official stance on the matter is in October 2024, interview with Famitsu translated by Genki on Twitter, Metal Gear Solid producer Noriaki Okamura didn't shut down the possibility of other remakes but made clear they wouldn't be coming anytime soon. Okamura explained that remaking the first Metal Gear Solid alongside the original two Metal Gear games released for the MSX2 and Nintendo Entertainment System would require the creation of many brand new elements. This stands in stark contrast to Metal Gear Solid 3, which was seemingly much simpler to remake as Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. And we know that Delta Snake Eater was a one-to-one remake with little deviation. And some even say it's more like a shiny Unreal Engine HD remaster than an elegant remake it could have been. That's exactly what IGN described it as they said it's an admittedly beautifully nostalgic trip but almost faithful to a fault. Why is Okamura and Konami saying it's going to be more difficult to create a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake? Well, the original Metal Gear Solid was a PlayStation 1 title with fixed camera angles and tank controls. Unlike Snake Eater, which already had a solid foundation that could be enhanced with modern technology, rebuilding the first game from scratch would be a monumental task, and that's what they have to do for this game. The technical leap from PS1 era design to modern gaming standards is far more dramatic than updating a PS2 era game. This would require completely reimagining Shadow Moses Island with modern game design principles rather than simply enhancing what already exists. Now, Okamura's personal wish is what he stated at the Tokyo Game Show in 2025 this year. Konami held a new episode of Metal Gear Production Hotline with a Q&A segment where Okamura was pressed further on the topic of future remakes. When discussing his personal wishes, Okamura admitted he would love to see a remake of the original Metal Gear Solid, stating, "Personally, and this is just a fantasy with no promises, what I'd want to do is Metal Gear Solid 1. I'd like to see it, though the difficulty would be maximum." This candid admission reveals that even within Konami, there's recognition that Metal Gear Solid 1 represents both the most desired and most challenging remake project. A Konami strategy is seemingly preservation first. Okamura explained that Konami is currently considering the next steps for the Metal Gear Solid franchise, but will wait to see what the reception of Metal Gear Solid Delta is before deciding on the next steps. More importantly, Konami appears focused on preservation rather than expansion. Before everyone who was involved in the original is gone, we need to create a path to preserve the Metal Gear series for 10 or 50 years into the future. I think this is something we have to do, Okamura said, and of course that's because Kojima left and there was no Metal Gear after that, besides which was absolutely awful according to everyone that played it. So this preservation first approach explains why the company has been focusing on the Master Collection releases and faithful remakes rather than new storylines or radical reimaginings. Now, the Master Collection Volume 2, when asked about that, Okamura acknowledged fans' patience, saying, "Since we called it Volume 1, there should naturally be a Volume 2, and that's been the expectation for several years now, and we're properly working on it while making Delta." He added that when the timing is right, they hope to communicate future plans, but asked fans to please wait a little longer, noting that the team is continuing to support Master Collection Volume 1, but is now nearing the end of its update cycle. Volume 2 is confirmed to include Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriot, bringing the otherwise PlayStation 3 exclusive to modern platforms first. Now, Konami confirmed that fan feedback will play a role in shaping future decisions for Metal Gear Solid. A survey went live following the latest Hotline broadcast, running from September 25th to October 9, asking players which entry they would most like to see remade next, though at this stage the survey is limited to Japanese audiences. So what does this mean for Metal Gear Solid 1? Well, if Konami were to pursue a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, it would likely leverage Unreal Engine 5, the same technology being used for Snake Eater, bringing features like photorealistic visuals, dynamic lighting, nanite and lumen technology, and advanced stealth AI behavior to this new remake. Imagine Shadow Moses Island reimagined with destructible environments, dynamic weather that changes infiltration routes, and AI that adapts to your tactics. This wouldn't just be a remake, it could potentially redefine the stealth genre for a new generation, much like the original did in 1998. However, this ambition is precisely what makes it so difficult. Creating such an experience from PS1 foundation would require far more than the enhancement approach used for Snake Eater. So now we're playing the waiting game. For now, the future of Metal Gear Solid 1 Remake hinges entirely on how Metal Gear Solid Delta performs. I guess we'll also have to see how the Fox Hunt mode does after October 30th too. If Delta succeeds and demonstrates there's strong demand for faithful remakes of classic Metal Gear titles, Konami may feel confident enough to tackle the maximum difficulty challenge that a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake represents. However, I think with all the rumors that have speculated that Metal Gear Solid 1 is in development, I think they would be right. I think that is something that they are working on, since it will require a long time to actually make. Really hope they have started on it. They are 2 to 3 years in production of it. So a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake remains in the realm of fantasy with no promises, as producer Noriaki Okamura candidly admitted. While it's clearly something that Konami has considered and would personally like to see happen, the technical and creative challenges are substantial, far more so than remaking Snake Eater. However, if we believe some of the rumors that have come out in the last 5 years, then this development is ongoing, and it is likely that Konami is working on it behind the scenes. Rumors were right about Snake Eater being remade, and that's something that's happened. It was right about the Master Collection. We'll have to wait and see, and it's likely Metal Gear Solid 1 Remake was in the conceptual stages back then, and probably not in active development. It is very possible that it is in active development right now. And guys, it is finally here. The Balboa Club Witch Hunt Collection Volume 1 is now available and will run from December through February, and this drop is specifically inspired by The Witcher, as I wanted to blend the styles of the wrestling world with the games we all know and love. So please go ahead and check out the Balboa Club store. It's on the channel store page, and the website is in the description and pinned comment section below.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement.